Hello everyone, welcome back to physics class. I hope you all are safe and healthy. Keep smiling. So in last session, we already discussed about physical quantities, classification of physical quantities. Am I right? Yes. Now today I am going to discuss about definition of physical quantities. Right? So, first one is, so before going to start our discussion, today's quotation is, there is no substitute for hard work. So, dear students, do hard work. Right? So, physical quantities are divided into various categories. Depends on what factors. So, the first one is, based on dependency, right? Physical quantities are divided into how many types? Two types. One is fundamental and one is derived. Now, first of all, I will explain definition of fundamental physical quantities. Fundamental physical quantities. Okay, fundamental physical quantities. Fundamental physical quantities. Right. So, what is the definition of fundamental physical quantities? Very simple. The quantities which are independent of each other, is known as fundamental physical quantities, right? So these are the quantities which are, while I am writing, please note down, which are independent of each other, is known as fundamental physical quantities, right? In last session only we discussed examples of all types of physical quantities. Now tell me, what are the examples of fundamental physical quantities? Length, mass, time, right? Electric current, okay, temperature. These are the fundamental physical quantities. Sir, why they are fundamental? Why they are independent of each other? For example, if you want to find the length of the board, is it necessary to find the mass of the board? No, not at all. If you want to find the time of the day, is it necessary to find the length or mass of this board or mass of this classroom, area of this classroom? No, not at all. Right? Clear? So if you want to find the temperature of a body, temperature of a substance, is it necessary to find, for example, I want to find the temperature of this substance. Is it necessary to find the length of this substance? No. So that's why length, mass, time, while you are measuring these physical quantities, they are independent of each other. That's why they are fundamental physical quantities. Okay? So examples, length, mass, time, etc. Okay? Right. The next one is, second one is what? Derived physical quantities. Derived physical quantities. Okay? In the name itself, there is a definition. Derived physical quantities. Yes, derived means they are depends on some other physical quantities. Am I right? Am I right? Derived physical quantities, they are derived from some other physical quantities. Nothing but they are not independent of each other, they are always dependent on each other. So the quantities which are dependent on fundamental quantities are nothing but derived physical quantities. I hope it is clear. Okay? So derived physical quantities definition, quantities which are dependent on fundamental quantities are known as derived physical quantities. Dear students, in some textbooks, fundamental physical quantities are also known as base physical quantities. In some textbook, they are also mentioned that absolute physical quantities. But in most of the textbook, they are using only fundamental physical quantities only for our better understanding. When you are referring some textbook, so without confusion, right? Without any confusion, here I am writing all the different names of fundamental physical quantities. So base quantities, absolute physical quantities, nothing but fundamental physical quantities only. Right? And the examples of derived physical quantities are area, volume, right? Speed, right? Velocity, force. All these are derived physical quantities only. For example, area. Great mathematicians, what is the formula of area in mathematics? Let us assume a square, area of a square. What is the formula? What is the formula? Side into side. Length of a side into length of a side. Okay, rectangle. Length into breadth. Length, breadth, both are nothing but length only. Am I right? So, length, area, length into length. Volume. For example, for rectangle, length into breadth. Okay, fine. Okay, next consider force. Let us consider speed. Speed. Tell me, speed formula. Distance is nothing but the length only. Am I right? Yes, absolutely. Distance nothing but length only. Distance divided by time. But you know very well, length and time are fundamental physical quantities. So, speed is a derived physical quantity which is derived from time and length. Nothing but these are fundamental. So, derived physical quantities are always expressed in terms of fundamental physical quantities only, base physical quantities only. I hope it is clear. Right? Okay, like that. Okay, one more example I will write. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration. Oh, mass, okay. Mass is nothing but fundamental. Acceleration, acceleration formula. Change in velocity by time. Am I right? Velocity is nothing but displacement by time. Again, displacement by time is nothing but what? Fundamental. Okay? So, force is a derived physical quantity which is derived from the base physical quantities. Clear? Okay? Right. Okay? So, these are the fundamental and derived physical quantities. Okay. So actually this is what the basic classification based on dependency. But there are a few physical quantities Not few, only two. There are only two physical quantities which are not expressed in terms of fundamental, which are not expressed in terms of derived. Such physical quantities are nothing but supplementary physical quantities. It is the new term. Okay? Up to lower standard, you studied only these two classifications. But there are two physical quantities which are not expressed, which are independent of, nothing but which are not said to be fundamental, which are not said to be derived. Such physical quantities are nothing but supplementary physical quantities. Supplementary physical quantities. Supplementary physical quantities. So what are those two supplementary physical quantities? One is plane angle. One is plane angle. Plane angle. Okay, fine. Next one is solid angle. Solid angle. Sir, what is plane angle, sir? What is a solid angle? Don't worry. We will discuss these two supplementary physical quantities in detail in upcoming classes. Okay, fine. So this is what the first classification. So next continuation, a second category based on directional properties. Based on directional properties. Physical quantities are divided into three types. Scalars. What is meant by scalars? Tell me. The physical quantities which has only magnitude but no specific direction is nothing but scalar. Right? So the physical quantity physical quantities having only magnitude, but no specified direction is nothing but scalars. Clear? Okay. Weight of a person. Leave it. Weight of a person. Leave it. Mass of a chalk piece. Mass of a chalk piece. 2 kg. Yes. 2 kg. Mass of a chalk piece. 2 kg. It is a scalar. Because of it has magnitude, sir. In everywhere, in entire physics, we always use the word of magnitude. What is mean by magnitude? Magnitude is nothing but numerical value. Number, please remember. Clear? Numerical value. Magnitude means magnitude. Magnitude. Nothing but numerical value. Number. Okay. Mass of this body 2 kg. 2 magnitude. But where is the direction? No direction. Okay? Right. So physical quantities having only magnitude but no direction is known as scalars. Examples. Right? Mass, length, time, temperature, all are like nothing but these are nothing but scalars. Second one is vectors. Okay, my dear students, tell me what is the definition of vectors? Sir, vectors are physical quantities having both magnitude and direction, sir. No. It is incomplete definition. That is your school level definition. Now you are upgraded students. Now you are upgraded to PUC. Your Android 10 version, right? Okay, let us do it. So, vector's definition in higher standard, we are defining in different way. Then what is the definition of vector? Vectors nothing but the physical quantities having both magnitude and direction and also obeys vector laws of addition. This is very, very important. It possesses magnitude and direction, but it does not obey vector laws of addition, means it is not a vector. It is not a vector. But in your school standard, in your school textbook, this condition they are not mentioned. Okay, but in PUC level, we have to define here right away. So, vector's definition: physical quantities. Physical quantities having both magnitude and direction. And after that, see, in theory examination point of view, if they are asking define vector, if you wrote only this much, they don't give 1 mark. It is incomplete answer. And also obeys vector laws of addition. Vector laws of addition. Okay? Right. This is what the actual definition. Right? Please remember again, whenever I am asking what is meant by vector, don't say that only it is possess only magnitude and direction. Not only magnitude and direction. It also obeys vector laws of addition. So what is meant by vector laws of addition? For all your questions, I will explain reasons. Definitely. Because we have vector chapters. Again, don't ask these questions. Okay? Right? So, I will explain. You don't bother about all these reasons. I will explain everything. Right? Okay? Here in this online class, I am not only behave like a teacher. Right? I am also behave like a student when you are asking doubts. Because of here, there is no interaction, physical interaction between you and me. Right? So, simultaneously, I will raise the questions and I will answer those questions. You don't worry about that. Okay? So it obeys vector laws of addition. We will discuss this vector laws of addition in 4th chapter, motion in a plane. Right? Next, examples. Velocity. Force. Acceleration. Momentum. These are the few examples. Okay. Now I will write one sentence. Listen carefully. Now here I will write one sentence. 5 Newton. Right? Newton. Don't sleep. Newton. Newton is a unit of force. Okay, correct only. 5 Newton force acting on a body. Okay, this is what the given statement. Now please tell me, is it a vector? Is it complete? This sentence has a meaning or meaningful sentence, or it is a meaningless sentence in vector point of view? Tell me. Oh, meaningful, huh? Yeah, no. 5 Newton, sir. 5 Newton is given. Force is a vector, sir. They In which direction it is acting? Did they mention? No. They are not mentioned in direction. It is a meaningless sentence, incomplete sentence. Okay? Right? But if they are mentioned like this, 5 Newton force is acting on a body towards north direction, towards east direction, or towards forward, towards right side, like towards west side. Yes, then it is a meaningful sentence. Be careful about such a type of statements. It is not a meaningful sentence, right? 5 Newton is correct only, right? Newton is a unit of force only, but here they are not mentioned in which direction it is acting. So it is not a complete sentence. So you have to mention in which direction. 5 Newton force acting on a body in east direction. Then it is correct. Then it is correct. Okay? Right. Then next one is tensors. Tensors. Sir, what is mean by tensors? What is mean by tensors? Tensors nothing but these are also physical quantities. These are also physical quantities only. But these physical quantities having different magnitudes in different directions. Clear? Clear means they don't have fixed magnitude. They don't have fixed directions. Means they are not vectors, they are not scalars, then they are said to be tensors. So tensors, I will write the definition like this: the physical quantities, physical quantities having different magnitudes in different directions. Right? So, sir, what is mean by different magnitudes in different directions? Wait. When we are coming to system of particles and rotatory motion, where we will discuss moment of inertia, in the last session only I wrote an example for tensors. That is moment of inertia. Okay? Moment of inertia, if for a given body, if you are calculating that physical quantity, in different directions, it has different magnitudes. Okay? So now, in this session, this much information is enough. But we will discuss in detail in our PUC syllabus. Okay? Right? So, tensors nothing but these are the physical quantities having different magnitudes in different directions. Examples are moment of inertia. Moment of inertia, stress. So these are nothing but tensor. Apart from this, physical quantities also classified as dimensional physical quantities, dimensionless physical quantities. So this is also one type of classification of physical quantities. This classification also we will discuss in the second part of this units and measurement. In first class only I wrote all the topics, last but one, dimensions, dimensional formulas, right? So physical quantities also divided as dimensional physical quantities, dimensionless physical quantities. So this is about the clear picture of classification of physical quantities. I hope you understand what is physical quantities, how to classify physical quantities into different types. So the next concept is measurement process or need for measurement. Okay? So I told you already in earlier we discussed that in physics point of view for understanding of various events and natural phenomena, okay, measurement of its relevant physical quantities are essential. Okay, then how to measure a physical quantity? What is the measurement process? See, listen carefully. Measurement process is nothing but it is basically a process of comparison. So here I will write measurement process, the process of measurement is actually, now we are going to discuss about how to measure a physical quantity. What is the need for measurement? So measurement process is nothing but the process of measurement is a comparison, is a process of comparison. Okay? Measurement process is a process of comparison. Okay, now listen. All of you, look here. Okay, don't write. Don't pause the video. Don't eat any snacks while you are watching this. Listen carefully. Okay? Right. Sir, now we'll ask one basic question before going to start this measurement process. See, in a village, there are some 100 houses. Then, how to identify a particular house in that village? Or in a classroom, there are some 50 students. All are students only, right? All are students only. Then how to identify a particular student? Yes, with roll number, okay, with name, okay, with surname, okay, fine, with like some standard reference. Am I right? Standard reference. So, if I want to identify any student in this classroom, some reference is required. That reference may be your name, maybe your roll number, maybe you belongs to some particular place, maybe whatever may be the reference. But reference is required. Similarly, if you measure length of a board, for example, length of the board, you are writing like this. Okay, fine. Listen, wait. Length of the board, fine. Next. Mass of the board, fine. Okay. Area of the board, fine. Area of the board, fine. What is fine? Just now I told you. Fine, number, numerical value. Nothing but it is a magnitude. Clear? Right. Okay. So, fine. Sir, which one is length? Which one is mass? Which one is area? Yes. After a couple of minutes, definitely we will get confusion. Okay, while you are writing first one, okay, you remember this is length, you remember this is mass, you remember this is area. For you it is easy, but for others, how to identify this value is related to that particular physical quantity? Yes. After a measurement of any physical quantity, a standard reference is required. Without a standard reference, it is very difficult to distinguish that particular physical quantity. I hope you understand. What is the importance of standard reference? Okay, if I write like this, meter, okay, fine, yes. After 1 year or after 1,000 years, or if anybody will observe these values, then they will easily identify, yes, this value, it is nothing but physical quantity like length. Okay, for example, here I will write 5 kg. Yes, it's related to mass. Okay, 5 meters square. Yes, it is the area. So what is meter, kg, meter square? What is meter, kg, meter square? These three, right? This yellow color, nothing but it is a standard reference. Standard reference. So what is that standard reference? For students, ID card, like roll number, like your name. Then for physical quantities, what is the standard reference? That standard reference, nothing but, come on, tell me, unit. Clear? So, after measuring of any physical quantity, it must be, okay, so I am measuring like 5, but this measured value must be followed by a standard reference. That standard reference is known as unit. Clear? So, measurement of any physical quantity involves two things. Measurement of any physical quantity involves two things. Measurement of physical quantities involves two things. So what are those two things? Remember, for example, you are measuring the length of the board. Okay, answer 5. 5 must be followed by a standard reference. For example, I wrote like this, 5 kg, 5 kg. I am asking length of the board. You are writing 5 kg. Kg is a suitable reference to represent that measured physical quantity? No. Because I am asking length, but kg is not a unit of length. It is a unit of mass. So, measurement of physical quantities involves, first one is selection of proper unit. Selection of proper unit. Very, very important. First thing. Next, second one is magnitude. Second one is magnitude. So that is magnitude, nothing but, here I will write the number of times that unit is contained in a physical quantity. So these two things are very, very important for measurement of any physical quantity. Now I will explain these two things with one one best example, right? But here I will write first formula in first chapter. Now today onwards I will introduce formulas. So daily how to practice these formulas. Okay? Right. Now today I am writing first formula in your first PUC first year syllabus in first chapter. Okay? In second class session. So that formula is, so measurement of any physical quantity. That is I will write here. Measurement of physical quantity. Physical quantity, okay, is equal to measurement of physical quantity. So what is phi? Tell me, what is phi? Magnitude into unit. So measurement of physical quantity nothing but magnitude into unit. Okay? Now measurement of any physical quantity I am representing with x. X is equal to magnitude. Magnitude means number. N. Unit. U. Okay? So please put this relation in a box. So x is equal to nu. X is equal to nu. Okay? Right. Wait. Now I will explain these two things with one best example. Right. Example. What is that example? Length of line AB. Length of line AB. Okay? Right. Now, listen. So let us assume I want to calculate length of this line AB. So how to find the length of this line AB? Just now only I told you measurement of any physical quantity involves two things. First one is select a proper unit. Am I right? Okay. Now I am taking a meter scale, a meter rod as a reference. I am taking meter as a reference. So first one is what? Selection of proper unit. Okay, I am taking a meter scale. Clear? Right. Then, so I want to find the length of this AB. So select meter, selection of unit. Select meter as a unit. Okay, fine. Now, here I am taking 1 meter rod. 1 meter rod. I am taking 1 meter rod. Okay? Listen. This length 1 meter. I am taking reference as a meter rod, meter scale. Then this length is how much? 1 meter. This length is how much? 1 meter. Now tell me what is the length of the line AB? Come on, tell me what is the length of the line AB? 1 meter, 3 meters, 4 meters? Yes, correct. 2 meters. 2 meters. So length of line AB. Length of line AB is equal to 2 meters. Right, correct. Magnitude, nothing but number. It is always followed by a standard reference, right? Which is used for comparing the same physical quantity, meter. It is a standard reference. Now, the second one, magnitude. Magnitude is 2. Selection of proper unit is meter. But you wrote something here. The number of times that unit is contained in a quantity. Alright? How many times of meter? 2 times of meter. This meter unit is repeated in this measurement how many times? 2 times. That is what I written here. Listen. The number of times that unit contained in a quantity. Okay. This meter unit contained in this physical quantity how many times? 2 times. Clear? Okay. Next one. Next example. Mass of a bag 2 kg. Mass of a bag 2 kg. Okay. 2 magnitude. Kg unit. Then this kg unit. Okay. Here I also wrote 2 na. Right. Let us consider 5 kg. 5 kg. Mass of bag is equal to 5 times of kg. So kg is repeated how many times? 5 times in a given physical quantity. What is the physical quantity? Mass of a bag is equal to 5 kg, means 5 times of kg. 2 times of meter. Clear? Okay. Right? So the next one is, remember this is most important point, right? In examination point of view, listen carefully. Golden key point. Golden. Sir, I don't want gold, sir. I want silver, sir. Okay, your wish. Right? My intention is, it is the important point. Golden key point. What is that golden key point? Okay. Right? Now again I will explain with one example. I told you already in yesterday's class. In physics, if you want to study first observation, next experiment, then next frame the rules. Yes, we are following the same thing only. So, golden key points. Example. For example, length is equal to 3 meters. 3 meters. But we know 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Then shall I write same length of a same rod or line 3 into 1 meter is equal to 100. Then if 3 meters converted into centimeter, you will get 300 centimeter. Am I right? Am I right? Yes. But meter, centimeter, both are units of length. But which one is the largest unit among these two? Meter only. Then it is the smallest unit. Am I right? Okay, fine. Now coming to this relation. So here this length of this line 2 meter constant. It is always same, sir. Constant. This length how much? 2 only. Always 2 only. Array. Correct or not? This length is how much? This length is always 2 meters only. 2 meters only. It is constant. Then shall I write this x is constant? X is constant means nu is equal to constant. Nu for a given physical quantity only. For example, if you take this much length of the line, then for this much length of the line it is not 2 meters. Maybe it is 10 meters, but this 10 meters is constant. For this given line, this 10 meter is constant. For this given line, this 2 meter is constant. Means for a given physical quantity, Nu always constant. Nu always constant. Then shall I write like this? N is equal to constant upon U. Okay, mathematicians, right? Then what is the relation between N and U? These two are directly proportional or inversely proportional? Inversely proportional. Inversely proportional. Yes, inversely proportional. Okay? Then what is the meaning of this? That is what golden key point. Golden key point is N inversely proportional to U. Then what is the meaning of this? Listen. Remember this statement. Smaller the unit. Smaller the unit of a physical quantity, larger its numerical value. Okay, smaller the unit, larger its numerical value. So still we are not understanding whatever you taught earlier. Okay, fine. Listen. In this example, meter, it is the largest unit. Okay, it is the smallest unit. Clear? When you are converting meter to centimeter, when you are converting meter to centimeter, 3 becomes 300. Correct? 300 is larger than 3. So when you are converting meter to centimeter, then you are converting larger unit into smaller unit, meter into centimeter. What happens to its number? Larger its numerical value. Clear? So this key point is very, very important. In upcoming classes again I will ask, what is the relation between N and U? Inversely proportional. Inversely proportional. Okay, you will take in vice versa. You are converting centimeter to meter. Centimeter is the smallest unit. You are converting into meter. Meter is the largest unit. Okay. Larger the unit. Meter is the largest unit than centimeter. Then 300 converted into 3. Then larger the unit, smaller its numerical value. Okay? Right? So this is what actually golden key points. Please remember. Okay. So climax about today's class. So based on today's discussion, here I am giving few questions. Assignment 2. Write two examples for following physical quantities. Write two examples for following physical quantities. Two examples for following physical quantities. One is derived and one is supplementary. Next, define vector. Define vector. Next, define fundamental physical quantity. Here, one grammatical mistake. Larger is its numerical value. Now it is, here also you will write smaller the unit of physical quantity. Because of here there is no space, so that's why I am not written here. Smaller the unit of physical quantity, larger is its numerical value.